Hello, everyone. My name is Love Abram, a graduate student at NKU, and I'm going to present to you the Premack Principle. And just to go ahead and explain and give more details or description of this procedure. It is reinforcement strategy in ABA that is used to assess to a high probability behavior occurs only after a low probability behavior is completed. That is first, and then it is used to increase the likelihood of low probability behaviors through positive reinforcement. The age group that this principle can be used, it can be used at the preschool, school age, adolescents, and adults. The settings that we can use this principle, it can be used at home, schools, clinic, hospitals, community programs. It is also used to shown to improve on task behavior, compliance, work completion, participation, daily living skills, as the following researchers have made us to know. It works best when the learner prefers the high probability behavior. It also works best to motivation or to motivate students or deprivation is present. Reinforcement is immediate and consistent. The APA themes that we can see in this principle. As we first explained Premack Principle, I'll go ahead and say it again. A reinforcement strategy in which a high probability behavior is used as a reinforcer for a low probability behavior. High probability behavior means a behavior that occurs frequently and voluntarily without prompting. Low probability behavior, a behavior that occurs frequently and often requires prompting or resistance to engage in. Reinforcement, a consequence that increases the future likelihood of a behavior. Contingency, a dependency relationship between behaviors and consequences. Motivating operation, an environmental event that alters the value of the reinforcer and affects the likelihood of behaviors associated with that reinforcer. Preference assessment, a systematic assessment used to identify preferred items and activities or interactions that may serve as reinforcers. The apparatus that are used in this principle are as follows. To effectively implement the Premack principles, we need to follow um, the apparatus that we can use. First, we need to have the first then board or visual support timer. Task materials for low probability behavior like worksheet, choice materials, hygiene materials, academic tasks, and so on and so forth. Reinforces list, preferred tasks and activities, data collection sheets, reinforces schedule, talking board. It can be optional, the reinforcement menu or choice board, sorry. Baseline measurement or baseline measurement and data collections. So, if you want to use this procedure for a student, you need to have baseline measurement or you need to have a type of data collection sheet. During baseline, data are collected on the target's low probability behavior without contingent reinforcement in place. Data may include frequency, duration, percentage of opportunities, permanent product completion. Baseline must be taken across multiple sections until stable patterns emerge. Interventions phase. Once the Premack principle begins, data are collected on rate of completion or the low probability task, latency to task engagement, refusal episode, accurate or quality of performance intervention data are compared visually to baseline to determine effectiveness, variability, and trend. Procedures or the task analysis when want to implement Premask. Identify the low probability behavior. Define the behavior in observable and measurable terms. Identify non preferred or high probability activities. Conduct a brief preferred assessment if needed. Arrange learning environment so preferred activities is unavailable initially. Create a first and then contingency visual or verbal, provide a clear instructions that is first and then again, prompt engagement as needed, immediately deliver access to a high probability behavior upon accessible task completion, provide behavior specific praise, track data, fade reinforcement gradually as behavior strengthens, update reinforces options regularly without preferred shifts, the target, the tax analysis adaptable to multiple clients, settings, and activities. How it works. Behavior analytic explanation about the Premack principles. The Premack principles works by arranging a contingency in which a highly reinforcing activities is only available contingent upon the completion of the target behavior. Access to the preferred activity functions as the positive reinforcer, thereby increasing the future frequency of the low probability behavior. Motivating operations enhance the reinforcing value of the high probability behavior, making the contingency more effective. Additional consideration that can be used in this principle when implementing. Before implementation, ensure preferred activities are strong enough reinforcers. Conduct a preferred assessment. Determine length of access to preferred activities. During implementation, ensure immediately delivery following task completion. Monitor learning frustrations levels. Avoid overly long work requirements. After implementation, systematically fade duration of high probabilities if needed. Rotate reinforces frequently when not to use this procedure. If the learner has extreme difficulties transitioning away from the preferred activities, if no motivation operation exists, if the preferred behavior could cause safety issues, if withholding the preferred behavior could escalate aggression. Hypothetical example of this principle. A 7-year-old student rarely initiates writing tasks and frequently avoids seat work. The teacher identifies playing with Legos as a high probability behavior. Teacher presents first writing, then Legos. Student completes writing assessment. The teacher immediately gives 7 minutes of Lego play. Study increases in writing task completion. These are my references for my presentation. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy my presentation. Have a great evening. Bye bye.